Hi, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Cami, and this is gonna be the footage of me making my prom gown. I'm not really gonna talk about making it, but I am gonna be showing all the footage. I kind of considered posting all the footage because that's kind of like a very sacred process for me. But it's something that I've always dreamed of doing, and I finally did it. And yeah, it was my senior prom. It was a beautiful, beautiful dress, and even though it was technically a two-piece, it was definitely a full prom gown vibe. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just gonna be talking about some stuff that's on my mind, and yeah. I could sew these together and then like make it into the sleeves and then like cut it in half and make it like both of the sleeves. Or I can use this one to make the sleeves. This is like basically like a full arm. So the original dress, before I like reworked it and took it all apart, was from the thrift store Community Aid. I got it for $1 on a blue tag day, and I just got really, really lucky, and I found like this amazing like beach wedding dress, and yeah, I got really, really lucky with it. So at the beginning of high school, I was a lot different than who I am now. A lot of people who have known me for a while would probably say that. And I'm not one of those type of people who's like, delete the old version of me you have in your head. But at the same time, it's kind of like, don't you ever think about how strange it is, how we all change so much. And some of us just try so hard not to, or I guess it's not really trying because you don't really realize that you're doing it. But sometimes we get stuck in these loops, and this whole high school experience has taught me like, there are loops, but it's all about getting back to your main focus and remembering why you're doing what you're doing. Here I'm trying to explain my seam allowance and how I drew out and sketched out all of the parts for this dress. Yeah, I didn't use any patterns actually. I just, as you can see before, I measured it and kind of just drew it out. And that's just how I roll, kind of. I actually graduated today, and I decided to like really finish my video and post it as soon as possible because I don't want to be stuck in this whole finishing this video. But anyway, my principal, Dr. Rawls, was talking about life is like seasons, like quite literally and metaphorically. And in his speech, what stuck out to me the most is like just always trying to do better and always trying to prepare yourself for like the winter, his metaphor was. And it's just so funny because I've been thinking about this, like just preparing myself for what's to come after for quite some time. I'm not really taking a normal path as most people are. And this was like a very personal, like all me decision. A lot of people wanted me to go to college. A lot of people want me to go to college for, you guessed it, fashion or a lot of things. Oh yeah, I dropped my little pin guy in there. But anyway, yeah, so I just blanked out. But to me, it wasn't really about what everybody wanted me to do. It was kind of just like what's right for me and my mental health. I don't really ever talk about it, but I've had lots of struggles with it, and a lot of people, I would say, honestly, in my class in particular, we've had our struggles, and so I'm not just like, you know, special or anything, but everyone is special. So don't ever think that your mental health isn't special. You just got to find your people. And so anyway, back to the seasons, getting there is like the biggest journey ever, but for some reason it all just works out. For some reason you're guided there with grace in some kind of way if you just believe. And I think believing has been the hardest thing, especially in high school. People are constantly telling you like, no this, no that, you can't, you shouldn't. So many rules, so many like people just saying no. But are you going to live your whole life with people telling you no? I used to be really scared of like being alone. Like, when people would ask me what's my biggest fear, I would say like being alone or like being lonely and stuff. There's an art form to being alone. When you are just sitting alone in your thoughts, no one else there to think for you, no one else there to say anything to like alter what your mind is thinking about. What do you think about? Like when you're just sitting and literally doing nothing, your mind still goes. Like my mind never stops unless I'm sleeping. And I know that for many people it is the same way. Like what do you guys think about? I could go on a whole thing about like just some countless things. And you know what is the worst thing? When your thoughts are bad. And when the place where you spend most of your time at your mind, we all spend the most time in our mind. When you spend the most time in your mind and it's awful, it's sad, it's mean, it's harsh, it makes you feel bad. Like it shouldn't be that way. It's our mind. It's our place where we should be the most at peace. And so if we can just change the way that we think and change the way that, we let our mind treat our like souls, then maybe we would all be a lot happier. I think I definitely am getting there. It's been an uphill battle. It's been like a up down, up down, up down battle. It's like frequency. It's just like the waves. Everything is like waves. Everything is motions. Everything is everything. It's been hard. I used to be really scared of being alone, of not having friends, of not having someone to call when I'm really sad, not having someone to check up on me. And the more and the more and the more I get older and get like, now that I'm done with school, it's like none of these people care. None of these people care. And it's not their fault. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not asking for them to care. But the thing is, and this is what I'm thinking, none of them care because they're all doing their own thing. They're all living their own life. They're all struggling their own battles. They're all having their own mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, like everything. Everybody has their problems. And so who am I to say, please help me get out of this jam, when you have your own jam? You have your own jam. You have your own PB and J. Like I can't ask you to do that.
Final piece.
I can't. And the hardest thing to realize about that is like sometimes you have to be alone. Like sometimes you have to just sit in that like loneliness to blossom. With that being said though, does that mean that we have to go through the loneliest parts alone? Another thing, ironically, high school has taught me is people do care. Like, some people do care. Some people you don't even know personally go out of their way sometimes to just care about you. And that is what confuses the mind. Like, why does this person I don't even know care about me, but the person that means the most to me doesn't? Our relationships with people have been like so altered because I feel like we're so disconnected, that we're so connected to strangers and we're so disconnected to the people who are right in front of us. And it's hard because it's like mind-boggling. Like what I just said probably didn't even process through your brain. Go back and play it. Like to think of that is mind-boggling. It's so contradicting. Life is so contradicting, and that's why nothing is for certain. And that's why the more you think about it, it's like why am I even like why am I even doing all this to impress other people? It's my life. And it's all ironic, it's all contradictory. I don't know if I said that right, but it's just all gonna be like that song, isn't it ironic? It's all of that. So like why am I doing
everything in my power to, like, man, it's hard not to be a people pleaser. It's hard to, like, say no sometimes because you want to help everybody. You want to see that person get through their jam. But sometimes you just got to, like, keep on moving and cut that crust off your own sandwich before you can go and, like, I don't know, like, spread their peanut butter for them. Like, I don't know where I'm going with that metaphor, but, like, it's just hard. It's really, really hard. Like, life is your PB&J sandwich, and you're gonna make it what you can. You're gonna see that peanut butter, jelly, and all the possible things you can put in it, and you're gonna have to make do. And you can't help anybody see all the possibilities they can have with the peanut butter and jelly. Like, just sitting here, I'm thinking about putting walnuts, and I'm thinking about maybe grilling it a little bit, make it a little bit of, like, uncrustable in the toaster. Like, I'm thinking of so many things you can do with a PB&J, but are you? Like, don't worry about what I'm doing with my PB&J. What you doing with yours? So at this point in the dress, I have gotten a lot done with the corset part, and right now in most of this, I'm just adding, like, the boning part, and that is basically, like, the wire that you feel in all of, like, the little corsets that everybody wears. So yeah, most of it I just kind of, like, did the panels, put the panels on, did some little designs on there, and that is, like, what most of my dress looks like. My favorite part about making this dress, and making also my other prom dress too, I made 2 prom dresses in 1 month. It's like pushing myself to a limit that I knew I could reach, but had my doubts. Mainly just because it's something I've never done, and it kind of was just like a dream. But dreams come true if you, like, really want them, and you really, like, think that you can have it, and it did. So, thing that I want to share in this video that is going to be happening is I'm going to be selling my clothes on a website, and I kind of thought about saying this in the video too, but it's definitely going to happen. June 13th is the first drop, June 13th, 2021. So I'll probably be posting on it on Instagram by then. But if I haven't yet, then you heard it here first. It's something that I have literally dreamed of and also never thought would ever happen, but it goes along with one of those things about putting yourself out there and, like, trying to prepare for the better things that you want, but having to do the steps that will get you there. Manifesting is basically like that. In order to manifest the big picture, you also have to put in the work that would get you there and manifest the little things. Like, you can't just have, like, being your goal as being president and then not have goals in between there. If I wanted to be president, I would try to think about if I wanted to be a congresswoman, if I wanted to be the mayor, like, if I wanted to be in politics, or did I want to be, like, a famous person and become, like, this immense famous person that everyone just had to vote for me. I digress. But anyway, yeah, like, I would have to kind of put steps in place to get to be famous, to get to be a congresswoman, to get to be a mayor. Like, I wouldn't just think straight to president. I wouldn't just think straight to mayor. Like, I would even have to think of little things like, what am I going to do to get me there? What am I going to do to, what am I going to do today? Like, we kind of manifest and use law of attraction in everyday life. Every single thing that you think about is putting a energy frequency in place for you to do it. Law of attraction, that's how it works. You think of it and you make it happen. Just planting a thought, planting that seed in your head makes it happen. So it's kind of like that with everything. It's literally like that with everything. And definitely 8 months ago, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew I was going to graduate. And I knew that some way, somehow, oh, look, I finished my top, everybody. I finished my top. It took me 3 days. This is day 3, by the way. I'm probably going to add numbers to this, but anyway, I just knew it was going to happen. I didn't know how. I didn't know, I knew when, obviously, but I just knew. And so here I'm starting on the skirt. I finished the top like 100% by then, and the skirt was just pretty simple and clean cut. I wanted something slick. I wanted something, not too crazy, my style. And I honestly really considered doing pants, okay? And I know I didn't ever tell anyone, but I really considered doing like a bell bottom type, just like slick white, like silk pants, like basically a skirt, but in pants form and like formal. And the reason I didn't is because I kind of thought of the idea like really last minute. And I think I thought of it like on the 3rd day. Like I think I thought of it while I was like making the skirt. I was like, yo, pants would be so crazy. But yeah, so after the skirt, the dress is pretty much done. It did take me 3 days, so I guess this is a little information part of it. But yeah, the first day was just taking apart the first vintage like dress. The second day was making all of the like the patterns and all the cutouts for the actual dress, and then the third day was really making like the legit corset, making the skirt, adding the grommets, all of it.
Literally, why did I make the right there? Sometimes, like, when it comes to figuring out which one piece is which. Okay, wait. I think I'm doing
I hope in the future I can always remember not to let my insecurities or other people's insecurities hold me back. Everyone in this world is going through somewhat of the same thing in just different formats. Just because I was given whatever I was given in life doesn't mean that I have to end with it. It doesn't mean that this is it. I think the peanut butter jelly sandwich that I will make has nothing to do with the jam that I started with. And I can make the best out of what I have, and I hope that everyone also finds the way to doing the best with what they have.
Anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Alright, bye-bye.